Welcome to today's fifth Media Summit. We renamed it this year. It's the European Out-of-Home Media Summit. We've been going for 5 years in this lovely venue, BAFTA. It's good to see quite a few of you, probably about 20-30% of you I know from the past. We've got our regular sponsors. I can see the OutSmart people. I can see FEPI. Thanks for all coming. We've got a nice mix of speakers. Although it's a European summit, we're going to start with an American. We thought we'd try something a little bit different, but it's truly global, hopefully today, and hopefully you'll get lots out of the day. So let me just thank our sponsors and give some name checks. We've got Iuda, who sponsored the event for most years. Wildstone, where are all the Wildstone people today? In the big row. Put your hands higher. Great, thank you for Wildstone. Just done a new rebrand. We've got your nice new logo here. And then we have Broadsign. Where's Broad? I can see Stephanie from Broadsign. Broadsign in the front row. There's a few other Broadsigners around. The Merio guys, sponsoring a couple of things tomorrow, and Broadsign are sponsoring a couple of things tomorrow. We've got another automation programmatic thing. LiveDo should be here. Are they here somewhere in the room? Have they not got here just yet? And Trueful. And where's Jonathan Morley? Jonathan. Wave. Jonathan and Amanda in the corner. Thank you very much for that. And you're doing some stuff with the Retail Digital Signage Expo as well. So,
as I mentioned, the alliterative DNA that we constructed at DPAA. We're a community. We're a concierge service. We're a club. And we're a consulting organization. And anybody, maybe a third of you are members, you understand how we do all these things. And it's critical, especially in this digital age, where you know what? We're competing for advertising, which is a fuel for everything, against Google, Facebook, Sky, huge monoliths, huge companies. And they've got tons of people. When you walk in, I've been to Google, I've been to AOL, I've been to Facebook, I've been to Google and Mountain View. There's brilliant people all over. There's 50 people you can call on any day, right, Daniel? Who can tell you about technology, about a new data source, etc. But we don't have that. We're largely, you know, some of the biggest companies are billion-dollar companies, but still, we don't have the resources to connect. So as DPAA, when people come together at DPAA, they exchange best practices. They figure out what's going on. They see people that have the same jobs as them, whether it's in New York or London or Mumbai, and they share how to do it better. And that's what we've done and how we've connected at DPAA.
So when I come back to Switzerland, it's our operation is do only, digital only. It represents 20 employees. We make a turnover of 5 million. We don't lose cash. We don't make cash. We have no investment capacity. That in this industry, when you cannot invest. When you don't have a financial sponsor or a bank, you don't move. And we have two strong offers, which is the first one is the digital shopping malls, where we had at that time in operation, in contract, 40 shopping malls. And we have Geneva Airport, which is the second largest airport in Switzerland, but which is the most powerful airport in terms of ad spending per capita, per passenger. We are above €1 per passenger, which is a world record.
So, the session is what role do national associations play in our industry? So to answer that, just a bit of context on the industry as a whole. How is advertising doing in the UK? Last year, in total, £22 billion was spent on advertising in the UK, of which out-of-home got about £1.1 billion. So that's about 5% of everything and about 7.8% of display advertising. Within that 1.1 billion, 46% of that was coming out of digital out-of-home. That's expected to be over half by the end of this year, and it was actually dead on half at Q4 of last year, at 50%. So it's digital where really the revenue's coming and the growth is coming from.
Thank you, Tim, for this great presentation. I'm going to introduce myself and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the Club du Digital today. I'm Vladimir Aubin. I am Sales Director EMEA for Broadsign, and I am also taking care of the presidency of the Club du Digital, which is an association in France. I've taken the presidency a year and a half ago, and that's a French professional network for digital signage and digital out-of-home industry that I'm going to tell you a little bit more about today. There are some members today, so I'll try to behave.
He starts with this big one, which is digital drives growth in out-of-home, which has been I guess a big lamentation of lots of people in the out-of-home industry is digital actually driving growth, or is it just taking money from classic and putting it on digital? And it's fascinating to actually have a look at some of the stats. So these are Steve's stats. This is yesterday. So these are some of the pictures I got him to put in. This is Finland in 2009. So we had the first digital roadside network in Finland, and we couldn't find the video for this. This guy is actually fighting inside this box and saying, "Help, let me out." It was a beautiful bit of creative. But that was yesterday. That was the first bit of first kind of proper digital network that we had in Europe. When we look at the Western European market, this is what it was. So 2010, the Western European market, these are his charts, $5.4 billion of revenue, of which 4% was digital, a little blue bit at the top, digital. So that was 2010. That was all of Western Europe. You roll forward to today, and we've just launched Adshel Live this is in Madrid, so this is in Spain. We won a couple of big contracts in Spain. You look at where it is now, so from 2010 to 2017, all out of home has grown from 5.4 to $6.1 billion. And now we've got nearly $1 billion of digital. So his first comment, digital out-of-home drives growth. You could look next to lots of forms of traditional media, and Tim showed some of that. There's been some declines. If you look at that, the big light blue block is classic, is paper, which has stayed pretty much the same in that 7-year period, and we've got $1 billion of digital on top. So on the face of it, yes, digital has driven growth in out-of-home. We need cross-media owner and pan-European standards. That's going to be critical. So we can win little battles all the time, but unless we communicate with each other, pull together, and that's going back to the industry bodies, and get some real standards, we're going to lose the war. Because the war isn't against other out-of-home media owners. Actually, I don't have a problem with any out-of-home media owner. I'm the chair of Outsmart. I think Ocean do brilliant things. They started premium digital. I think Decaux have done a great job in shopping malls, as have we. They've done a great job in digitising London, the LDN network. We've done some great things with Adshel Live. There's some great things going on. The battle isn't with each other, the battle is with other forms of media. And unless we get our standards sorted out, unless we make out-of-home incredibly easy to buy, we won't get the kind of extra growth that we all think out-of-home deserves.
Any Germans here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I sometimes struggle with the British sense of humor. But Germans, as you all know, are very, very popular for their sense of humor. So that's why I didn't want to talk about digital out-of-home, because I don't know that much about it, but what us as a company, or what we are more concerned about, is actually out-of-home in a digital world. And I think our view on the business has changed a lot since we've left our role as a pure out-of-home player. So our company was founded back in the late 80s, and I would say about 25 years, we've been doing nothing but out-of-home business. And then back in 2012, we started acquiring online companies, so ad exchanges, RTB platforms, publishers. We acquired the biggest website, the biggest portal in Germany, T-Online, which is on the one hand an email provider, but also general interest publisher. We went into e-commerce businesses. And since roughly 9 months, we are also investing in dialogue marketing companies, so CRM businesses, both tech-oriented as well as traditional call center businesses and door-to-door sales. So we are quite a diversified company, but I think working in different parts of the industry has helped us to get a better understanding of out-of-home instead of just inside-out.
The 11% of the turnover is from programmatic. That means 5% of our overall digital out-of-home sales and 2.5% of our advertising sales. That means also that we are already reached the half and half in the digital out-of-home and traditional.
But however, we think actually that our customers are seeing still the same privacy issue, metrics issue, creativity issue. So to solve this problem, actually, we are launching today an initiative with a lot of our partners who own actually digital out-of-home networks equipped with Qivity cameras on each of every other networks. The goal of this association is to actually unify inventories, to be able to harmonize practices and amplify the visibility of digital out-of-home on those media.
So we decided that we needed a vehicle to showcase really just how underused, but also how overlooked digital out-of-home can be, and just how immediate and amazing it really is.
But that's enough from me for now. The moment you've really all been waiting for, which is
the wonderful Nick. And I'm going to hand over to Nick now, who is going to showcase to you live the magic of outdoor. Nick, over to you.
All of these cards are different. You've chosen one, and even you don't know what it is. Have a look at the screen. Now, I don't know if you can see that from there. It's a little bit burnt out. You see, it's actually the, what is that? Is that the two of diamonds? Two of diamonds. You can see better than me from there. So you don't even know if it is or not. But if you turn that card over and it's a two of diamonds, these guys will go crazy with applause. Come on!
I want to thank all the speakers mainly. I mean, the speakers today, I think you will agree, have been fantastic. Remember, as we approach Brexit, you notice on our little logo, there's a couple of stars missing. Got Brexit. I think there's going to be Grexit and a couple others maybe coming along. You never know. But remember that the majority of the speakers today, apart from the last two, and there was a couple of others, spoke English, which is not their native tongue. I think we tend to forget that in Great Britain, how multicultural we are. So again, I don't think Barry's native tongue is English, to be honest. Okay, so maybe all of the speakers really, apart from Helen and Nick, were not their native tongue. So really, the speakers spent a lot of time preparing, so thank you for that. We have to thank our sponsors. Our main sponsors today were IUDA, Media Systems in the back of the room, and all the Wildstone people who stayed the whole day. First time you've been here to our event, I think you've been quite impressed. And then LiveDo, and Broadstone, of course, and Trueform Digital, and Jonathan and Amanda in the corner there will happy to take your street furniture questions. And the biggest thanks of all needs to go to you guys for coming and staying for the whole day and enjoying it and putting up with my little bit of humor and all the non-native speaking English people.